Hey, also Nitro Nerds here, and this is a update on our Hyper 7. I'm not going to go into a whole lot of details on the history of this vehicle for us. We have a slew of videos on that. The short version is that I am in the midst of building what I consider will be the most wicked, menacing Hyper 7 of all time. And that is not a joke. It's not me necessarily trying to brag or any of that stuff. It's just how I feel. I don't know why I could not do that. I don't see anything in my mind that would possibly stop me from being able to achieve that. So right now, what we've done is we've got it rocking and rolling. I mean, it's very villainous right now. And when we take it out to a bashing spot, well, take a look. This engine here that I have is an OS 25XZ. It's a Truggy engine, and for all intents and purposes, it's probably the most impressive engine I think that I've ever seen. And it initially threw this buggy around like a rag doll, which you have to understand is not anything, it's not a badge of honor or anything cool in my mind. In fact, I think that it's just a pretty lame party trick. There's no skill to it whatsoever. The skill is putting the vehicle where you want, when you want. So from there, it's a matter of you can either tame the engine or you can build the buggy up to handle the power. And I'm building the buggy up to handle the power. All right. So I have what I believe is pretty much every damn upgrade for the Hyper 7 series that's available. At least all the ones I want. I really can't think of anything that I want right now. And what we found out is that, again, we take it out bashing, and it is insane how powerful and aggressive this buggy is. And of course, it's as durable as anything. Take it to a track, whole different story. And this is, I've tried to explain to my fellow bashers that, you know, it's one thing to drive around in your backyard or the construction site, but take your vehicle out to an off-road track, try to stay on course, and you quickly find out the vehicle's flaws. So the first challenge we were having was the way that it jumped, and it was going nose up, and when it landed it wasn't maintaining control. We worked around that, added a little bit of weight to the front, not too much though, and then as far as the way it landed, just some suspension upgrades to it. Then what we found out was when it was cornering, it was really loose on corner entry, and so we worked around that a little bit. I stiffened up the front, and again trying to distribute more weight to the rear. I think we did pretty good with that. And, you know, again, with, you know, steering, I put a new servo on it. Just, you know, there's a whole lot of other things with the differentials and the caster. And then what we found out was upon acceleration, okay, especially like coming out of a corner, right? We accelerate the front. I mean, it's, if there was ever a buggy that's going to wheelie, it's this one. And the front will lift up and shake loose, and then from there it's just, you know, it's mayhem. As for diff oils, I began very light, so I went with 4, 5, 2, 4 in the front, 5 in the center, 2 in the rear. Today, what I'm going to do is make 2 changes. I know it's kind of a cardinal sin, but you'll see why in a minute. First change that I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and rebuild the rear diff, swap it out from 2K to 5K. The next change is I'm going to mount it on a new chassis, and this is the Hyper 7 long chassis, which for all intents and purposes, once again, is the absolute best chassis for the series, and to my knowledge the only new one left in existence, so it's not going to be new very long. One of the problems that I'm having here in the rear And that has to do with the mesh. You'll see here in a moment what I believe it is not so much that it's meshed incorrectly. However, I accidentally sprayed some contact cleaner in one of my bearings on the Diff, which really pissed me off because it's a new bearing. You guys be very careful doing that because what will happen is all the dirt and crap that's on the seal will go inside. And if that happens, you're either going to have to throw the bearing away or clean it out. Seeing it's new and seeing as it's a Mugen bearing, I'm going to clean it out. So just a little bit of oil. Here's the one I just cleaned. So that's working all right. And then here's a new one. A little bit of a difference, but not as good as new, but still, I saved it. All right, so I got the rear clip onto the new chassis here, as you can see. And again, then what I'll do is go ahead and put the C-hub front clip on. Here's the pillow ball rear clip. I think that'll end up probably being the setup that I stay with is PBS in the rear and C-hub in the front. But we'll see, you gotta test it all out. So let's go ahead and mount everything else. Of course, while I'm in here, I'll go ahead and do some maintenance items, like I'll put in some new center diff housing aluminum posts. These are really, really nice, I like these. I'm not going to bother rebuilding the center diff, although that's something I'll do here shortly. Actually, I'm going to try the Spider center diff soon. All right, well, I got it all together, and I just took it out for a little test spin. I'm pretty geeked because I have to say that this vehicle has become, if not becoming, our most monstrous vehicle. And that's saying a lot because I got some pretty badass machines. I'm sorry, I mean, I just got to call it like I see it. But when it just comes to flat out just kick ass in your face power, this right here, I mean, it's just that, oh my God type power. It's unreal. I mean, I have seen a lot of mean machines. I've driven some, I've owned some. This right here, I'm telling you, I mean, the potential is through the roof. I did something tonight that I've never done really to this degree on a buggy. And that is I rode a wheelie. I've popped wheelies before. This time I hit one and I mean, it was up and it was just like this for probably 20 feet. Maybe not 20 feet, maybe 10 feet, I guess. But regardless, it was something like I've never seen before. It's not an exaggeration when I say that the power is scary. Because there's times where, I mean, I'm on the throttle, it gets on the pipe and I'm just like, good Lord. You can't believe that you're controlling something like this. It's going that fast. That's just oh my God. I gotta take a deep breath. But this thing is becoming exactly what I want it to become. And the chassis. All right, so first little problem, not really a problem, but you can see here because it's a longer chassis, I'm gonna have to do something about the holes right here on the bodies. I think I can probably shim out the body posts to come out a little bit further. We'll see. That's the least of my worries. Also, again, you guys that follow our channel, you know that, excuse me here, because I had to do some stuff to get it on. You guys that follow our channel know, I mean, I call it like I see it. So I'm not one of these guys that, puts on changes sway bars from a 2mm to a 1.8mm and says, oh, it's like night and day and all that. But I can tell you that I definitely noticed a difference with the chassis, without a doubt. Now, I did change the rear diff oil to 5K, but I'll put it this way, it ran as well as it's ever run before. Other changes, I mean, this shouldn't affect performance, I wouldn't think, but I put on a carbon fiber top plate right here. So prior to this, I was running just a big thick aluminum one, which worked well. But again, I mean, the whole intent of this rebuild is to try out everything under the sun with it. So this obviously is going to save some weight, and if it can stand up, then hey, all the better. I then went ahead and put on some soft springs in the rear. These are actually the ones from the Mugen MBX5. But yeah, it's definitely rocking and rolling. And the chassis, I mean, I could feel the difference. And really what I noticed was jumping. And just the way it handled itself in the air. Yeah, this is exciting. So at this stage, we're gonna take it out to the track tomorrow, and I will have running footage of it. So effectively, you'll have the Thug going up against the Monster tomorrow. For all intents and purposes, once again, I mean, this right here this is the real deal. But the fact that we're even talking about a Hyper 7 in the same breath, it's, you know, a badass machine like this tells you all you need to know about what's happening here. Additionally, outside of the track running, we're all going to have some bashing footage as well, because, well, we have something laying around here that's no slouch. And, well, it's not him. Well, he's no slouch, but it's this machine right here. This is you don't see many race truggies with an Overos Aroma engine in it used solely for bashing, but it's going to bash its balls off. And well, wait till tomorrow, because I think that this right here might be our most violent vehicle, and this right here is our #1 dog. Oh, you can give me a high five, or you can leave me hanging. Yeah, look at him. I love you, Winston. Thanks so much for watching, guys. What else are you gonna do? You wanna go for a walk? You wanna go for a walk? Yes? All right, we're gonna go for a walk. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day.